Welcome back. This is Christine Zeitler with the Olean Public Library, and today we're going to be kicking off our summer reading program, which is Imagine Your Story, and it has a focus on different myths and legends. And today we're going to be focusing on Jason and the Argonauts and their quest for the Golden Fleece. Now, Jason and the Argonauts went sailing off to try and find the Golden Fleece, and they had a lot of adventures along the way. What we're going to be focusing on is the fleece itself. You can see that it looks like this fleece has a bit of a golden hue to it. And that is due to the lanolin that's naturally secreted by the sheep, and it's stuck in the locks. The finer the fleece, the more lanolin that tends to be in it. This is a Romney fleece, so the sheep breed is Romney, and it's from New York State. And the first step that we're going to do is we're going to take the fleece and we're going to put it into a container that is only going to be used for fiber preparation from here on out. It's never going to be used for food or anything edible. So once you've done that, you take some water that is hot but not quite boiling or just off the boil, and we're going to pour that over top. And you want enough water to cover the fleece. And then we're going to leave that for 15 minutes. It's very, very important that you do not agitate the fleece while it's in hot water, because that's going to felt it. So once that's done, we'll drain it off and go to the next step. You can see, even after only a few minutes, part of the fleece has started to turn white already. And that's as the lanolin leaks out of the fleece and is absorbed by the water. Now, you want to make sure that this does not cool completely, because if it does, then the lanolin will re-adhere to the fleece. So after about 15 minutes, we're going to move on to the next step. So once 15 minutes have passed, you're going to take some items. I use plastic forks because I have them on hand, and you're going to fish the fleece out and put it on some paper towels to dry. You don't want it to be completely dry. You just want it to be cool enough that when you put it in water to wash it, it's not going to felt. So once it's cooled a little bit but not dry, you're going to take some soap. Any kind of soap will work. I use Dawn. I separate out the locks because we're going to be using this in the next step in a lock structure. So you can separate them out either by pulling them horizontally if you can find the locks very quickly and easily, like I can. If you can't, if it's a bit of a jumbled mess, find a tip and just pull at the tip, and the lock will come out. So once you have your locks, you can see how dirty they are. They're a lot cleaner than they were now that the lanolin is out. But we're going to take this lock, and I'm using Dawn, but any kind of soap will work. And you're going to put some soap on here. Be a little liberal with the soap, use quite a bit, so that you don't run the risk of it felting. Once you've done that, you can use some cold water and rub it, making sure to keep it in the lock structure. Let me get some water. So get some water onto it, and then just give it a rub. I'm just focusing on the tips because that's where it's dirty. So once you've rubbed, you can see that it's already a lot cleaner. Give it a good long rinse to make sure that it's most of the soap is out. Leaving a little bit of soap in is not going to hurt anything. And once you've done that, you can see the tips are still a little bit yellow, but they aren't as brown and dirty as they were. If these tips are actually weak, then when we move on to the next step next week, they'll snap right off and you don't have to worry about them. So until next week, if you're an introvert, please check on your extroverts. If you have any questions, or if you want to post your washed locks onto Facebook, I'd be so happy to see them. So have a great week.